Hey, it's Doug Morrison from Wilson Audio once again, and back at you with another live video. And we are going to do something probably nobody else has ever done before. What you're looking at here is the Oracle Delphi Mark 6 version 2. It has many features that every hi-fi turntable lover would want, but we're fixing to do something that nobody has ever done on video, much less live on the internet. We are going to upgrade this guy with a granite base, which is going to increase the sound fidelity more three-dimensionally. It's also going to give you a whole lot more definition. The background vocals are going to be more forward. If there's many background vocals going on, you're going to get more of those separated to where you can tell how many people are in there singing along with the main singer. And the upgrade's going to be a great sounding artifact versus just being a beautiful piece. So let me just introduce you to the Oracle, which many people have never seen. Many people don't even know about it. It's a 40-year-old design. You have a 3-point suspension. Instead of collapsing the springs like most turntable suspensions do, these hang from the springs, and each one of them are specifically tuned. As you can see, they're different colors because there are different tensions on the springs. So they're all specifically tuned for the weight distribution of the turntable. And let's face it, it looks like a beautiful spaceship. They also have this record puck here that goes into the center, and it is specifically designed to collapse the record so it's so flat on the platter. There is no micro vibrations on the platter itself. The whole idea of the entire system, and I'm going to get back into the suspension part of it because there's more to it than just the springs. The whole idea is so the only thing that really vibrates is the actual stylus on the cartridge. So give me a second. I am going to set up, and I'm going to actually move the camera over so you can see what I have in this box that we're going to upgrade this turntable with. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a long video, but let's just get a bit more into the Oracle turntable. So it's got a removable head shell with the this is the SME 345 tone arm. The 345 is parts of the SME 3, parts of the SME 4, parts of the SME 5 combined into one tone arm for Oracle specifically. And this upgrade is not going to take any type of readjustments because all the adjustments should remain the same. But anyway, and I'm going to explain further how the suspension system works. And reason for it is, yeah, it's a hanging spring suspension, but when it does move, there's fluid dampeners that stop the movement. And it looks like because my turntable is broken in, we're going to have to readjust the suspension. Now, we'll see how long this goes, but anyway, this is fun. This is fun for me, so just take the cover caps off, and I am going to remove the most important part, which is the cartridge head shell. You know, cartridges go for $500 on up to oblivion. I mean, you can get stupid ridiculous $12,000, $13,000 for a cartridge. And yeah, it does work, but there is there's diminishing returns. So anyway, I'm just going to pull that screw, and we're going to remove the head shell so I can put the cartridge away for safekeeping. Save the screw. And I'm going to put it somewhere where I don't break the stylus off. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the platter. Now, one of the things that makes the Oracle version 2 versus the Mark 6 version 1. They split the platter. About time. There's been 6 revisions of this turntable, and it's basically taken the same shape, but it's been 6 revisions, improvement after improvement. Jacques over at Oracle is an awesome guy. He's great to talk to. He's actually got a great sense of humor, but he is so serious about his designs. He doesn't like to change anything unless it makes a sonic improvement, but one of the things about the version 2 versus the version 1 is they split the platter for the first time. And what that means is you can get to the belt without having this sub platter directly coupled to the platter here. And what happened at that point, for especially the older ones, and I've worked on many of the older ones, is you had to put the belt on, you had to hold it with your finger, and then you had to put it on and then get it around the motor. The problem is you don't have enough space between your finger, this rim, to get the belt around. So you had to come up with some little bit of ingenuity. I just bent the paper clip or used an Allen wrench and held it while I did it. Might take a time or two, but usually I'm successful. So I'm going to put this on the side here for safekeeping. Then we have the, take this off, put that aside. Now, the sub platter I'm going to leave in place because there's oil inside here for the main bearing, which is it's a great thing. Oil, well, we all know how oil lubricates everything. Pretty much, when it comes to turntables, the main bearing is everything, because as you're spinning this, the friction will give you some issues. But you know, it'll bind up, it'll slow it down, or it could actually produce vibrations. Again, vibrations is nothing you want into a turntable, especially a turntable that costs as much as this one does. And it's really, if you look at the turntables out there, this is actually quite the most affordable turntable when it comes to a high fidelity turntable. A lot of the other ones out there, they're $25,000 to $60,000 turntables, and frankly, they don't do what this particular turntable can do as far as fidelity. Anyway, I'm going to pull up the, well, before I do that, alright, so one of the things I'm going to address is the sub-chassis system, as well as what they call the MDSS suspension system. And what that is the fluid dampening suspension system that is underneath. As you can see, this thing's wobbling all over the place. I mean, you walked across your floor, you'd probably skip your stylus across your record. The way they solve that is by putting silicone fluid in these cups that are underneath, and you're about to see those. And then there's needles that are attached that I'm unscrewing right now that drops into the chassis system, down to the blend. And so drop that one down. I got one more to go here. We're talking the price is right. Come on down. There we go. Alright. So now the caps are covering the fluid cup, so that's... Now I'm going to loosen up the spring retention holders, so when I do pull these off, they don't come off with it. That's quite of a heavy assembly. And we're going to lift this guy up. And that is the heart of the turntable right here. Besides the motor base and the power supply in here, this is actually the heart of the system. This is the sub platter that spins everything, that everything sits on. And this part is what floats on the suspension to keep all standing vibrations from everywhere else going into the turntable. Because you can actually hear it. Let's see, let me put this on the side for safekeeping. Figure out where I'm gonna put it. So, apart from the floating suspension springs, you also have the MDSS suspension dampening system. And this is a high viscosity silicone fluid. I don't know if you can see it. I mean, that's pretty thick stuff there. And these needles, I guess you can say, stick in there. So when the turntable does bounce, it dampens the movement, so the turntable, if it does have any vibration, it doesn't move much at all. So, alright, we're going to pull these off, and I'm going to stand these on the side because they have to be specifically placed in the positions that they're in. And now, we're going to get to the heart of what this upgrade is going to be. So, there's the box. Excuse my service room mess. And Southern style, we'll use a fillet knife to open boxes here. Can't cut fish with this knife anymore, but it's okay. And what we have here is the upgraded turntable base. What do you think? I mean, that is a beautiful piece of work. It's heavy too. It's a good 50 pounds. But it's such a beautiful color. I'm not going to need this plastic. Get out of here. So everything on the other base is going to have to be precisionally mounted to this base. It's going to take me a little bit to do it, but I mean, that is such a pretty color. Let's see if I can expand it a little bit. You can see the specs in it. It's quite nice. So I am going to put this aside while I further disassemble the turntable. I'm just going to fold this up out of the way. I'm going to start by taking the silicone cups off. One of these Allen keys. Let's take a lucky guess. Bring it over here. I'm going to unscrew it from the bottom. And I guessed wrong. That's it. And yeah, it's kind of hard to describe everything that goes on with this procedure while I am actually working, but I'll do the best I can. So I'm just taking the Allen screws that hold the MDSS cups on, and I'm putting them in placement, as you can see, because I want them in the same places as the springs. Probably doesn't make a difference when it comes to the dampening cups, but it does make a difference when, as far as your springs are concerned, as well as your posts, believe it or not. Now these turntables, when they come to us new, used to take me about 5 hours to assemble. I could probably do one now in about 3 hours, because I've done quite a bit of them, but it does take a lot of time because there's calibration to be concerned. This camera's not right. Let me readjust that. Sorry. Now, I'm going to turn it on the side here. Alright, that one comes off no problem. These come out just like that. And this unscrews from this side. You can tell I've done it before. No biggie. Let's see. I'm going to take this side down. Remembering where it all goes because that was the back side left, and that's exactly where I'm putting it. You can tell because of the motor. Alright, looks like I'm going to have to do a little bit more Allen work so that comes off. Final one. Alright, suspension post off. Now the motor and power supply assembly. If I get this one right the first time. There we go. It's only held on by 2 bolts. Can't do it right the first time, you gotta do it again. So, here we go. Another Allen key. Wrong. Everybody loves Allen keys. Oh, come on, I thought that would be the right one. Has to be a 5/64. 5/64 or nothing else. Oh, it's not. Okay. I don't know what's going on here, but these Allen keys are just not in order. Aha! This one works. Yeah. Alright, so we're going to take the entire motor base off. Now, I'm not worried about this dropping off the plinth or off the sub-chassis. And got employees making fun of me. Wonderful. Not worried about it because it's going to be kind of stuck on there, which you're going to see me pop it off. This is the last step before I actually pop the feet off. So I'll put this back. I'm going to take. Right. Comes off just like that. There's a couple little dampening pads which I will peel off and put back on. These are not going back. We don't need them. It's going to be mounted on a total different system here. Alright, I'll put this on the side over here. Guess I got a stick. So, now we're going to turn it over, and the way I'm going to get these feet off is play the Allen screw game again. Find out which one fits. There it is. Give it a little twist, and the feet will come off. Let's see, that is that one. And one is the front left. front right. That is a Oracle Delphi Mark 6 completely disassembled in its many glorious pieces. And on to the granite base. I'm going to start from the bottom. And be careful with it, as you may or may not know, granite is very, very fragile. And we're going to start by screwing the feet back on. Tight as you can get them. Let's see, this is front left. This is back left. And then we're going to put on the feet caps. Now this is what you use to level the turntable. So it's quite nifty design. It's a Delrin foot. And I'm going to move. Oops. All right, now. So all the hardware for the conversion is inside this hole here, and what they did was they put in this CNC machine piece of aluminum. That's what's going to hold the motor base to it. This is going to be the hardest part of the install, and I've done it before. right. So let's put our suspension post back on. Tight. Alright, now we're going to break out our kits. And this is the alignment kit. This is very important for the MDSS, except I shouldn't have put on the suspension posts. This is new. This is something I haven't gotten before. It was on a piece of paper before, but my friend Jacques has cut it out of Lexan, so take these back off. I like this design. This actually makes it quite simpler than the first time I've ever done this. It's quite nice. I guess I won't need these tools the next time I do it. Okay. Now the cups are not screwed onto the granite base because, I mean, frankly, there's no need to. Since there's nothing to really move them. A little sticky pad works just fine. And they stay in place. So make sure that that is completely flat. Yep, that'll work. So I'll go on that. And they give you quite a bit of them, so you, in case you mess things up. But I can handle this. Starting to come together as a thing of beauty, huh? I mean, the acrylic was awesome. But I mean, the contrast of the granite is really bringing the silver out. It just gives it a fresh look. But the best part about it is the sound quality is so extraordinarily better. On the final cup, then I can start putting this suspension back together. The reason why I left these footers in, give me less chance of spilling the silicone fluid out, which it can make a mess. Looks like we're having great success with it. Peel off. There we go. Okay, that's in place. Wipe off all the excess. And same here. Longest amount of time I've ever been under camera. So, all right, now hinge screws I'm not going to worry about because my cover goes completely over the turntable. They do just supply those. All right, now I can put the post on, put my suspension caps back on. In a few minutes you're going to see what this beauty looks like in its entirety. This one's a little tight. Alright, that's alright. One of the things that we enjoy at Wilson Audio is we love working on turntables. I mean, people bring us 20 to 40-year-old turntables, and we love getting them back working. Sometimes they don't need any service; they just need a cartridge and an alignment. We get it up, we align it perfectly the way it should be, and we enjoy doing it. And then we listen to it. We listen to it because we want to make sure it sounds as perfect as it should. I mean, depending on the table, you know, they all have their merits, but they should all sound beautiful. Alright, and then the last one, I'm going to have to adjust that side, which I'm going to do later, but just for the purpose of the video, you see the transformation complete. The main chassis back on. That's not good. It's going to be a complete readjustment for sure. Don't know how that happened. It looks like a suspension cap cracked. Don't know how, but it's alright. When I'm done with the video. Just want you guys to see what it looks like when the transformation is complete. Alright, we're fully seated. Nicely split the platter. Put the belt on. And it hangs a little bit, and a lot of people make a mistake here. They turn it once the belt is on, and you don't want to do that because when you put the platter on and it compresses down, that's when you always run into a problem. the belt will slip right off just by taking that shortcut. Let's see these. In fact, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to put the ladder on. People turn that, and that's the first mistake. Belt slips right off. So get it on, then you use the motor to turn it on. And that is it. We are pretty much complete. It's a beautiful piece of work. I'm going to bring the camera around so you can take a look at it. Here, let's put the cartridge on it. This is the new Oracle Delphi Mark 6 version 2 reference. You can see from the beautiful granite base, the contrast in colors all around. I mean, it is awesome. I can't wait to demonstrate it in the sound room, which I shall have that back in probably about an hour. And it is just art at its finest.